What's up, friends? 2024 in the books. Wanted to give you an opportunity to recap the videos that we've done, so check them out. Welcome to the Pyramyd Insider. I'm Tyler Patner, and today we have the brand new Avenge-X Complete in 22 caliber, raw HM1000X Mini in 22 caliber. This is Rexamax. Got the RP and the RPA FX DRS Classic in 22 caliber. We have the Crosman Prospect in 177 caliber. We have now the Avenger Bullpup II, new FX Impact M4 30 caliber 700 millimeter barrel, and this new Avenge-X tactical carbine. Let's dive in. Hey guys, we are on location filming today in Texas. We are visiting Firebird targets, as you can see behind me, and we are gonna tell you all about these things. It's actually a very interesting process that they use to make these, and we have exclusive access to show you behind the scenes of how these Firebirds are made. Let's go check it out. All right. And gotcha. Sorry guys, we can't actually show you how Firebird targets are made, but trust me when I say this is a very cool place and there's some awesome stuff going on here. But what we are gonna do today is talk a little bit about Firebird targets, what they've got, and a new target, their M50. We're gonna shoot a ton of them. Stay tuned, we're gonna have a great time. Let's go shoot. Dan, that's a pretty monumental difference. I mean, you watch the 65 literally knock over the target, the 50 rattles it, and the M50 just, it's just there, and you get this nice big puff of smoke. I mean, for me, this is awesome. Like, I think about all the possibilities where I'm not disturbing people. This really, really sets a high bar, in my opinion.
Thank you. It was not easy to make an explosion without an explosion.
It's kind of...
Yeah, it was hard.
That's a good point. And you mentioned high explosives and binary before, but how are Firebird targets set apart from a binary explosive?
I would say 180 degrees.
Okay.
We have really nothing in common with binary explosives other than they both make noise. This minimum safety distance for our product is 50 feet instead of 100 yards. We don't cast off small particles at ballistic speeds. Our product is biodegradable and it's pyrotechnic, but most of all, it's certified by the ATF.
Which is big. I mean, that
right.
means
You're not
something.
going to get in trouble for owning it, transporting it, carrying it, using it. It's perfectly legal to buy on the shelf. Yep. Drop him.
I think he's down right there. Yes. So we just took about a 75-yard shot on a axis deer, a big axis deer. Holy cow! We just came on him by pure happenstance, saw him in the distance, and hopped out of the cart and got on a tree and took the shot. So we're gonna see where he hit. It looked like he dropped pretty much right away. So hopefully it was a good shot. He's expired quickly. We'll see over there. You probably see him in the background. He's down right there. It's been a couple minutes, so we haven't seen him breathe. We're gonna go up and give him a poke. He was standing about here, him and another buck. I got him right through these trees here. It was looked like a pretty clean shot. I couldn't get the vitals in as much as I wanted, but you know, it's a good shot nonetheless. Look at that. Holy cow. Matt, do you see this? Oh, look at that. Holy cow. Look at those. Air Force Texan SS 50 cal, 350 grain. Looks like a neck shot on him. Come on, guys, this is awesome. Look at the size of this thing. Oh, beautiful animal. This is incredible, man.
Holy crap,
What do you think of that, man?
Dude, you got a monster axis. Wow.
That's wild.
Isn't that high gorgeous?
Pretty.
Oh,
Bro,
look at that.
that is a beautiful axis.
Man, oh, man.
Yeah.
Incredible. Dude,
Bro,
thanks, man.
congratulations,
Thank
brother.
you so much.
Dude, that is, holy smokes.
50 cal Texan doing damage. That's what it's all about. All right, guys, so 45 yards with the Complete here, running it off of a fresh nitro air cartridge. 5-shot groups there, just because we've got to conserve this nitro air cartridge. We got Predator GTOs, 3/4 of an inch. That's pretty damn impressive. Again, $200 gun, that's very solid. But the best for sure, JSB 15-8.9s at a 5/8 inch group. That is 5 shots at just a hair over a 1/2 inch at 45 yards from a $200 PCP. It's pretty wild, guys. Just to give you an idea, though, the lighter stuff, it was definitely the way to go in our barrel here. This is what heavier pellets look like. Like, this is JSB 18-1s, this is JTS 18-1s, just not very good by comparison. So stick to the 16 grain and under stuff, and I am sure you're going to have great success. This thing certainly has the goods. And today we are on location in Texas, taking a look at the brand new raw HM1000X Mini in 22 caliber. So today we have the great pleasure of filming here at the Firebird Targets facility, and my good buddy Ton Jones brought out this HM1000X Mini for us to do a review on while we were here. So we're gonna take a look at it today. This one's gonna vary just a little bit from a production model, just more aesthetic stuff. The performance and the actual specs of this gun that you see in front of you are gonna be identical, though. It's just gonna look a little bit different when you get it out of the box at home. All right, friends, so we shot a bunch of pellets at 25 yards. Most of your pistol carbine guns like this, 25 yards with a 177, it's not cruising too fast. That's gonna be like my max comfort range for like pest control, things like that with this gun. Although I do think this has potential to go further than that. But from a power perspective, that's about where I would be comfortable keeping it, 25 to 30 yards. Like I said, we tried a bunch of stuff to give you an idea of what didn't really make the cut that you didn't see. This is Air Arms or JSB 787s, the Expresses. That's an 1.125 right there for 5 shots. Okay, not great. H&N Field Target Trophies. This is like an 1.25 for 5 shots. Again, not too great. I'm looking for 1 inch or better. So the pellets that did that for us, the JTS 10.4 grains, a fairly new 177 offering. These were the first 4 shots right here. Had that last one kind of fly a little bit on me. 1 inch though still, so pretty darn solid out of a heavy pellet. But 5/8 inch group here, 5 shots, JSB 8.4s. This is great accuracy. This is basically a dime size group at 25 yards. So the Rexam-X RP definitely has the goods, and as you can see, the scope is about as long as the gun itself. So something to consider when you're talking about putting an optic on this thing, but very easy to shoot, very comfortable, cycles like a dream. All right, so stretching the DRS to 45 yards. We added the moderator as I told you we would, so you can see it there. We'll take it off for the sound testing, so just know it's gonna be a fair bit louder than what you just heard. Most of the pellets we tried in pre-testing kind of look similar to this Predator GTO group, just under an inch, 0.875. It's not a bad group, but out of a $1,000 gun, you definitely expect better. So JSB 1813s, 0.625 for 5 shots. JSB Hades, the same, 0.625. So solid groups, but holy cow, a 3/8 inch group out of the JTS 22 grain pellets. This is fantastic and exactly what you would expect out of a $1,000 gun and what we've come to expect out of the FX brand name and those Smooth Twist X liners. All right, so taking the Prospect here in the 177 out to 45 yards. Results weren't too bad. Just so you guys know, because you hit me with it in the comments every time. Yes, we tested Crosman premieres, and no, they did not perform well, all right? Just know that. We test H&Ns, we tested some slugs, we do all the things before we put the guns on camera. So I have an idea of what shoots best before we get it out here and film it. So starting with not bad, a 0.8 inch group out of JSB Monster Redesigns. That is a heavy pellet, 13.4 grains. Not a bad spread there. JSB 10-3s, very similar actually, only a slight POI change in terms of my holdover, just so you guys know. Had 2 go in that hole there, so not too bad. Again, 0.8 under an inch is pretty okay. 3/4 of an inch, the JTS 10.4 grains. Again, this thing definitely likes the heavy stuff, but best by far a 5/8 inch, 0.6 inch group out of the standard JSB Monsters. That's pretty great. You know, again, budget gun, 350 bucks. 177 can be a little tricky sometimes, but I think a lot of you will be pleased that this thing likes the heavier pellets the way it's set up now, knowing that you have some tunability, adjustability with both the hammer spring and the transfer port adjustment. A really solid feeling gun here, and as you guys can see, I mean, just so much nicer getting that cocking lever. It is a bit long, but just so much easier to operate. One other thing I will add from a form and function standpoint, for those of you that maybe are using those larger capacity Avenge-X magazines in your Avengers, you can't quite fit them in onto the Bullpup II because of this bar here. So in the case of the larger mags, you can see I've got just a little bit of clearance there between the mag and the bar right there, and that is actually taken up with that larger mag, so it will not fit in entirely. Just a point of note there for you guys, but overall same goodness, just a lot more there's a word for this. What is the word for comfortable? Ergonomic. Ergonomic, that's the one. Now, normally, friends, of course, we would do a full performance overview of the Avenger Bullpup II, but we've kind of already done it with the original Avenger Bullpup. And all that material goodness, right? The regulated consistency, the power, the adjustability, it's all the same. You just have a more ergonomically friendly package and not so high of a scope, so it's a little bit lower center of gravity overall. Both good things, I think you all will agree. But let us know down in the comments below. Oh, and I forgot to mention one thing. The price is the same. No price increase here. Hard to say in today's inflation-heavy economy, if I do say so myself. That might be the smallest group we've ever shot, ever. Whoa. All right, friends, temperatures are dropping here in Cleveland. It's very ugly outside. You might be able to hear the rain actually pounding on the ceiling. And this is an outside facing wall, so I'm wearing a sweatshirt. Sorry, not on brand. I get it. Impact, 45 yards. We start with the pellets here. So JTS 45 grain pellets. That's 5 shots in a 5/8 inch group. Basically one big ragged hole. Very expected stuff out of the Impact. You have the JSB 44s, just slightly smaller, right around just a hair over a half inch, like 0.55 for 5 shots as well. We've tested Impacts before. Obviously, those JSBs are typically the way to go, the 44 grainers. Not as good were like the 50 grains and some of the other pellets that we have in 30 cal, like the Umarex Brimstones. We tested all of that stuff. Those were our 2 best. Now, what surprised me? Slugs. Guys, you well know, other than doing it in our preliminary testing, we've not had much luck with slugs in many guns. When we tested the Impact Mark II, 30 cal slugs were barely a thing. Granted, this was like 2019. My oh my, things have changed, my friends. So these are H&N 301 size 50 grain slugs. That's a 3/4 inch group. Not great for a gun like the Impact, but out of slugs, this is set up on the pellet transfer port setting. It's only shooting like 44 grains at 8 something. We know these are gonna wanna go faster, 3/4 of an inch. Not awful, but that's the worst one. Check this out. FX Hybrids, 5/8 of an inch, all right? So getting better. Zan, 45.5 grain, 7/16. That's like 0.45. That's solid. And again, probably going slower than they should be. A 3/8 inch group, 5 shots out of Zan 49 grains. Are you kidding me? Guys, Impact M4 with the superior STX barrel, kind of the standard liner, 700 millimeter, shooting slower than it wants to, is shooting slugs better than pellets. Wow. All right, friends, so at 45 yards, the Avenge-X tactical carbine here. 5 shot groups there at 45 yards. JTS 18-1s there, 0.8, 0.71 inch out of the JSB 18-1-3s. You can see it's a little bit tighter pattern. And our best of the day, the JSB 15-8-9s, 0.7 for all 5 of those shots. A little stringy boy there, but overall not bad out of this carbine. Quite frankly, I'm not a huge fan of the tactical platform from a bench perspective. I just find it a little more difficult to shoot than like a traditional stock, but overall, results are pretty solid, especially for the little short barrel. Now we have to see what those 15-8-9s are doing, because I suspect, based on some of my pre-testing, that the gun's set up probably a bit on the hot side. So knowing that, I think you can get a little bit better accuracy, or you can expect a little bit better accuracy out of your guys' versions once it's tuned just right. All right, so we got done filming and I had a little more coffee and I decided that I needed to actually see if what I was saying was correct, and if we tune this thing back just a little bit on the speed, if we're gonna get those better groups that I was talking about. Because 15-8-9s and 950 is pretty screaming. So I backed this off solely using the hammer spring adjustment, took the scope off, Allen key, and the little slot back here, until I'm shooting about 890, 895, somewhere in that ballpark. So it should be a bit more stable with those 15-8-9s. The group you just saw there, this is about a 5/8 inch group there. So definitely shrunk a little bit from where we were at before. And it's kind of proof positive to that. This is another 5. I threw that one. That was definitely me, by the way. So you got a nice tight group there. Another 5/8 group here that I was messing with as we were kind of tuning this in. Now, I wouldn't recommend from a tuning standpoint only using the hammer spring adjustment. There's probably a better balance you can find here, but that speaks to the tunability of the platform and the adjustability that you have at your fingertips. and also proof positive that I'm not absolutely insane. Thank you all for joining us in 2024. We appreciate each and every one of those of you that subscribe. If you're not subscribed already, you need to do that, all right? Do that stuff. But now it is time for 2025, and you guys know what that means. SHOT Show coming your way in January. Stay tuned. We're gonna be there covering all the latest air guns, and we'll see you then. There we go.